Good morning, everybody. I'm going to try to do this quickly, and I know y'all laugh when I say that. But anyway, this morning I was listening to or watching the sermon from Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Sunday service. And the pastor there is Michael Todd, and I love him. God has really used him in my life, his words, his messages in the last probably year and a half. And but this morning, one of the associate pastors preached, and they've been doing this series called Crazy Faith, and this was week 15 of Crazy Faith, and it has been amazing, absolutely amazing. And so this week was called Stating Faith, and so it was really cool because before I even started watching the video, I was listening to our Read the Bible Through the Year app, and I actually listen to it in the mornings. And so, and I'm a couple of days behind, which is not unusual, but I was listening, and one of the passages was from James. And I really liked, I read it from or listen to the New Living Translation. I like it in as far as the Audible version because it reads kind of like a story, like a book, and which is kind of neat. And so in this passage today, the way this read was it's in James 1, verses 5 and 6. It says, "If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind." And I love the way that's worded. Generally, you hear it, be sure that you don't doubt, because he who doubts is tossed about by the wave, like the waves of the sea. And so, as I heard that today, it just hit me that what that is saying, that passage, and some of you fundamentalist folks may correct me, but that's okay too. This is my sermon here. But what it spoke to me was that if we doubt, it doesn't mean that we can't ask God for things. The thing is, if there weren't any doubt, there wouldn't be any need for faith. And so it's just like love is, we hear all the time, love is an action word, and it is. You can say all day long that you love somebody, but if you don't show it, then it really is kind of worthless. And so the same thing with faith. You can say you have faith, and you can say you don't doubt or whatever, but until you put action with that faith, it doesn't mean anything. So in this passage, to me, it's saying that your faith needs to be in God, not the fact that you don't have an ounce of doubt in your body, because that's just not possible this side of heaven. We're all going to have doubt. And again, that's why we need faith. People are always like, well, I just don't understand this stuff. I just can't make sense of it. My dad even said that to me not long before he surrendered his heart to the Lord, 4 years ago. And he said, there's some things I just can't quite put together. I can't add up. And I said, that's it, Dad. That's where faith comes in. It doesn't have to make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. And the word says that, and I could go into all that, but that's another thing. So, but we have to have faith because things don't make sense. And so we're going to doubt. Somebody posted a question yesterday on a page I'm on. Can you ask God for the wrong things? And someone had kind of messed them up on prayer and saying, if you ask God for the wrong things, he's not going to hear you. No, you can ask God for the wrong things all day long. That doesn't mean that he's not hearing you, but he loves you enough to not give you those things. Now, you may keep on and on and on, and you make those things happen on your own, but God still hears you. He still loves you, and he's trying to protect you. And it's not that that he's going to walk away from you because you're not sure exactly what you should be asking or if you're asking the right things. Um, and so um, don't beat yourself up if when you ask something you're not quite sure. But then right after that, I started watching this video, and it was Pastor Charles Metcalf who was preaching, and he just blew me away. And he talked about stating our faith. And y'all know I love the phrase "speak life" and the verse "life and death is in the power of the tongue." And he talked about that some, and he talked about how we need to start declaring, to start speaking the things that we want in our lives, that we can just sit around and think all day long. And I love this because this is so me. He said, it's so easy for us to say, okay, God, I declare this and I'm going to do this. And we just say it to ourselves. And then if it doesn't happen, it ain't no skin off my back. I don't have to be embarrassed or anything. But what happens when you start speaking out those things that you believe are God's will for you, not just name it and claim it, but that you are healed, that you are blessed. In my case, that my house is going to be fixed, so I don't have to worry about it all the time. I'm going to start declaring that, and I'm going to declare it out loud. And you know what? If it doesn't happen, it's on God, not on me. Because I believe that's not asking something that's crazy out of God's will. He wants me to have a good dwelling place, for one, because I enjoy using my house as a place of ministry. I have the gift of hospitality. I love having people over. And so, and one of the scriptures that he referred to is in Romans, and I love this one. And he's talking about Abraham, and he said that one of the scriptures, I don't want to read too much because I know I'm going long now. It says, he is our Father in the sight of God in whom he believed, the God who gives life to the dead and calls things that are not as though they were. So if God does that, he says we can do that. He says if we say to that mountain, be moved, and we have the faith of a mustard seed, that we can do that. So we need to start declaring things and start walking in those things and quit speaking just the opposite of what we want to happen. They're never going to change. Nothing's ever going to change. I'm going to be stuck in this job forever, and my marriage is going to be bad forever. Or in my case, I'm going to be single forever. I'm going to grow old alone. My kids are never going to do better in school. Don't say those things. Start declaring what you believe needs to happen, what you need. Okay, not what you want, but what you need. Your kids need to be good in school. You need to be healed to be effective. Your loved ones need to be set free from addiction to drugs or alcohol or pornography or money, workaholics, whatever. They need to be set free from that stuff. Those are needs. So declare those things. And I tell people all the time, it does not cost me 1 cent more to believe the best in somebody and to speak the best. Doesn't cost me a thing. And if it doesn't happen, it's on God. I had a minister say one time that he was in a service somewhere in another country, and they had not had rain forever and ever and ever and ever. And in this, as they were praying before the service, God told him to pray for rain. And he was like, okay, God, no, we got a whole bunch of people out here, and you want me to pray for rain? What if it doesn't happen? And he said, God said, that's my problem. I want you to obey me. And so God just wants us to obey him. And part of that is speaking his word, speaking life over not only ourselves, but those around us. And man, time goes fast when I'm talking. So I'm going to hush now. I hope that makes some sense. But, if y'all think I'm crazy now, you just wait. It's getting worse. and you can blame partly Transformation Church, but ultimately God, because I think it's a good kind of crazy. So anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. And again, speak life into everybody and everything you see. Speak life, and speak it into yourself too. So have a good day.